We write the year 2002, the manga and anime industry is coming off Neon Genesis Evangelion, Ghost in the Shell, Perfect Blue, Akira. All these movies and shows did not conform with what you would expect from animation in the 90s. They were sexual, they were violent, and most importantly, they stood out. They made your parents go, "What the fuck? This isn't Disney. Why is Snow White naked and bloody?" These factors led to many eyes that again led to critical acclaim. In this climate, something new emerged. A manga called Elfen is published in 2002 and is promptly adapted to anime in 2004. Although I and most of the people today have mixed feelings about this show, the first sequence is pretty iconic. We start off the story in a research facility, where a girl named Lucy with horns on her head and invisible long arms murders her way in an ultra-violent fashion through the corridors. Afterwards, she seems to lose her memory and is taken in by childhood friends Kota and Yuka. From here on out, it's episode after episode of the people from the lab trying to contain Lucy again, while Kota and Yuka slowly find out what's going on. Every so often you get a mediocre fight scene with a lot of limbs being torn off, or the occasional one-liner that goes crazy.
Never thought I'd see the day when this country would let me terminate a miner. Hey, things are looking up in the world.
So originally when I started watching this, I was interested in finding out why this isn't popular anymore, but I think the true question is, why was it ever? If you look at my anime list today, Elfen sits at 1.6 million members and is the 81st most popular show ever on my anime list. Those are crazy high numbers. And to be real, I think 90% of those 1.6 million members are probably 13-year-olds who saw boobs and blood and got excited. So here I am watching this in 2026 till episode 7 and being absolutely irritated how anybody ever thought this was good. And then I gotta admit, this happened. Oh no. I'm halfway past episode 7 and I have to admit, this is fire. I really like this. This is fucking fun. And I don't know if I have taken some kind of drug, but I really enjoy this. What the fuck is going on? So, let's continue. Suddenly the pace slows down and way less time is spent with heads flying through the air and way more with characters talking and reflecting on their emotions. We learn that Kota and Lucy have actually been childhood friends. Lucy was an orphan and they both connected over this little music box, which is not only symbolic for their bond, but also plays the main theme of the show, the Elfen. By the way, Elfen is German for fairy and Lied is German for song, so it's fairy song. But at no point did this marrying of genres ever feel right to me. The sci-fi based parts and the dialogue based parts always felt like two different shows. So I started questioning myself, why the fuck is this way? And I went looking for answers and answers I got. Look, the reason the character heavy portion feels like a different show is because it always was meant to be. We write the year 1998. Lin Okamoto is a 20-year-old game developer at Bandai. After deciding that he wants to follow his dreams, he quits his job at Bandai and starts drawing to become a mangaka. After 2 years in 2000, he releases Elfen, a story about an American girl who is forced by her mother to play the piano. She's outstandingly good but doesn't have an ounce of passion or fondness for playing. After seeing a Japanese boy ripping apart the seat before going ham on the keys with all the fun you can get out of Chopin, she realizes that there's no reason in playing if it doesn't make her happy. Before the boy can fly back home, the girl proclaims to him that she will from now on start practicing the violin so they can play together one day. Finally, he gives her a little music box, and the melody it plays will be a reminder for her of their bond till the day they meet again. And I'm sure if this ever was adapted to film, it would have been the same melody used in the 2004 anime. So this last bit is really the only thing connecting the 2000 and the 2002 versions of Elfenlied. And in both these stories, this little bit works great. But in general, I gotta say the 2000 version, although it's technically way worse off than the 2002 version, gets so much more emotions out of me in 40 pages than the bloody gory 2002 sci-fi version ever got out of me in 12 volumes. And I can't help but think that those 40 pages are deeply personal to Okamoto. He himself quit his promising safe job at Bandai to pursue his dreams, much like the girl who quit the piano she was outstandingly at to pursue the violin, to have fun. But why is the 2002 version so much worse? Why did it not hold up? I think the answer is because this isn't the story Lin Okamoto wanted to tell. If you read his interviews or his website, it's quite apparent that he never was a fan of blood, of gore, of sexual depictions, or even of sci-fi. He wanted to tell a love story. But I think due to his lack of experience and skill, he couldn't make a living doing that. So he searched for themes that would sell, that would draw eyes. And to his credit, if this was the plan, it worked out perfectly. But what is the cost of fast-tracking your way to success? Longevity. When I started this, my thesis was that we don't care about Elfenlied no more, because we grew up and it doesn't shock us the same way. Or shocking content isn't as appealing. But there's still shocking content that works great. What about Akira? What about Neon Genesis Evangelion? Those are movies and shows that have shocking elements, but they have something at the core of it. Where Evangelion has desperation and depression, Elfenlied just has nothing. Because the honest core of Elfenlied has been diluted to something that's unrecognizable. And I think the moral of the story is that Elfenlied didn't fall off because it's shocking, because it's edgy, because the characters are flat, although this might have had an effect. But because it doesn't have an honest core. And art can't prevail if it doesn't have a lack of honesty. By the way, if you're wondering why I wear this stupid hat, I lost all my remaining hats and I stole this one from the Austrian army and I gotta wear it sometimes, right? Bye.